My beloved, do you think it's an accident that you're hearing my voice right now? No. Heaven planned this moment long before you took your first breath. Here on Holy Voices, we share the whispers of eternity, the messages that change hearts and awaken destinies. If your soul is ready, stay with me, because what you're about to hear might be the very word your spirit has been waiting for. Your giving is not just money, it is energy. As you open your heart chakra through generosity, heaven opens for you. Give, and it will be given to you. Luke 6 verse 38. Bless Holy Voices today with $20 or more through Super Thanks. This is where you were led. This is your affirmation. You've been waiting for this wonderful revelation. Chosen ones, please notify me when you arrive. Choose the comment that most speaks to your spirit of the moment, either 777 or 444. Talk about your experiences. Tell me about your angelic encounters, your prophetic dreams, and your unwavering sense that your life has been led. Before we continue, share this message with other chosen ones, touch the bell button, and subscribe to Holy Voices. We are a unique community. I'm going to tell you about a type of attractive power that just 0.1% of people possess. The Creator Himself weaved this beautiful talent into your inner spirit before you were even born. You carry more than simply energy. It's a vocation. You will discover today why it brings people, blessings, and even spiritual conflicts into your life. Recognizing the aura of the chosen one. The environment was different from the minute you entered this world, selected one. Your spirit already carried a frequency, an unmistakable vibration, before you could even utter your first words. Your aura is this. And no, I'm not referring to the diluted, commercialized kind that permeates popular culture. I am referring to the authentic spiritual aura, which is created by God and envelopes your soul like a shield and a lighthouse simultaneously. It is both a declaration and a form of protection. It precedes your speech and persists long after you have left the location. Your aura changes the atmosphere when you enter a room. In your presence, sensitive souls experience a sense of calm, as if they had entered a peaceful chapel amidst pandemonium. Others with darker motives experience uneasiness, as though their shadows have been exposed to uncontrollable light. You don't need to speak louder. You don't need to establish your value. Your very presence sends a strong message. Because of this, the selected one will always elicit both positive and negative responses. You see, you don't create your aura on your own. It is created by God. It is the outward manifestation of an unseen commitment. Frequently, an unexpected spiritual encounter, prophetic dreams, or an angelic visitation reveal that covenant. These aren't arbitrary. They are affirmations. Heaven occasionally reminds each selected person of their task. A prophetic dream may alert you to a dangerous course. During a time of spiritual conflict, you might be strengthened by an angelic visitation. Sometimes a spiritual message is so subtle that many around you completely miss it, but you sense it in your soul. The majority of people are unaware of this. Your aura is more than just the energy that emanates from your body. This announcement is spiritual in nature. It communicates to the invisible world. This is God's. Angels know that this one is destined for greatness. Demons are aware of it. Those that are spiritually sensitive are aware of it, though they might not be able to identify it. Even people who do not believe in the spiritual world experience some sort of emotion. This explains why some people seem to despise you right away without any reason, or why strangers may gaze at you for too long. The aura of the chosen one is multi-layered. On the surface, there is a serene assurance and a calmness that transcends comprehension. Under it, there is power, spiritual power, not human haughtiness. And the heavenly passion that drives your mission is buried deep within. This mix makes you alluring to people who are looking for the truth and dangerous to those who are not. It's critical to realize that your ability to attract others is not based on your looks or social skills. People find themselves drawn to those that are quiet, restrained, or even introverted. Others have a strong presence, yet others are not drawn to them because of their personality. It is a gift from God that is ingrained in their soul. In order to accomplish your calling, heaven uses this drawing ability to bring chances, resources, and the proper people into your life. However, keep in mind that this same force also attracts the needy, the curious, and occasionally the hostile in addition to the good. Not all attention is holy, yet spiritual light draws attention. You may have observed that certain people grin when they approach you, but they have ulterior motives. Some people might wish to sap your vitality. Others could try to divert your attention. For this reason, a chosen person's shield is discernment. Without it, people who want to abuse the gift you possess might target your aura. Additionally, your aura communicates silently. It's not always necessary to talk in order for others to understand your beliefs. Your serene demeanor may diffuse tense spiritual situations without a word. Your eyes alone have the power to cut through pretenses in moments of profound truth. And when you have prophetic epiphanies, you could say things that stick in people's minds long after they've moved on. The aura of the selected person is also responsive. The stronger your relationship with God, the brighter, warmer, and more powerful it becomes. It is fueled by prayer. Worship makes it bigger. It is sharpened by obedience. However, ignoring your spiritual well-being might weaken it and increase your susceptibility to spiritual assaults. Consistent spiritual discipline is therefore essential. It is a matter of survival. Most significantly, your aura acts as a lighthouse for other selected individuals. Have you ever had the impression that you had known someone for ages when you first met them? The acknowledgement of shared light is that their spirit is aware of yours. And frequently, God arranges these gatherings to create coalitions that will fortify you for the future. These relationships are never coincidental. They are appointments from God. So, chosen one, be aware of this. Your aura isn't ornamental. It is a proclamation. It is the external manifestation of an inward dedication. It cannot be forced, faked, or purchased. Heaven has a plan for you, which is why it is placed upon you. And your aura gets stronger the more you walk in accordance with that plan. You will resist what would hurt you, pull what you need, and remain unflinching in the face of both praise and criticism. That's why you need to keep it safe. You have to respect it because of this. For this reason, you should pay attention when angels visit you, when prophetic dreams awaken your spirit, or when spiritual experiences validate your path. Because your aura is more than just a reflection of your personality. It's an indication of who you are, and you will live your entire life with that fact. The characteristics of the gift from God. The gift from God is not something you have to earn. It is a gift. God marked you before your spirit entered your body, before you cried for the first time, before you took your first step. Like a golden thread woven into the very fabric of your being, the heavenly gift was woven into your spirit and written into your own existence. You've always been unique because of this. Even if, as a child, you lack the vocabulary to describe it. And there's more to this gift than just skill or aptitude. Heaven has invested in you. Purpose-driven power. Because it is both visible and invisible, the nature of this divine gift is extremely enigmatic. People may perceive it as influence, magnetism, or wisdom beyond your years in the natural world. However, it is referred to as authority in the spiritual world. Permission to carry out a certain mission. You experience things that others do not because of this. This explains why spiritual experiences disrupt your days and prophetic dreams invade your evenings. You are drawn into the tide of destiny by the divine gift. Furthermore, your life will never be typical, whether you want it or not. Attracting power is one of the main components of this gift. Not the shallow kind based on attractiveness or charm, but a deep pull that transcends human reason. It attracts people who are supposed to aid you, people who are supposed to receive from you, and occasionally people who are supposed to put you to the test. Because heaven knows who bears the Creator's signature, this light even attracts angelic visits. Angels appear to give you guidance, to uplift your soul, or alert you to dangers the enemy may set. However, resistance may also be sparked by this enticing power. Demon spirits may attempt to obstruct your path after sensing the mark you bear. Because of this, the divine gift is both a blessing and a duty. The purpose of your donation is influence, not comfort. Seldom is a selected one kept in secure, predictable settings for an extended period of time. Because it can most effectively express in challenging situations, the divine gift flourishes there. Consider Moses, who was sent to liberate a country. Consider Esther being placed in a palace as a result of supernatural intervention rather than luxury. Consider Joseph, who was given prophetic dreams that guided him through imprisonment, enslavement, and treachery before bringing him to the Pharaoh's right hand. A truth is revealed by these biblical examples. The chosen person's comfort is never the focus of the gift. It is about using them to carry out God's plan. Your gift from God has a voice, too. Occasionally, it manifests as unwavering beliefs. Sometimes, when everyone else perceives no danger, it's that quiet little voice that whispers a caution. Occasionally, it shows up as night visions or prophetic dreams that are so vivid they stick with you for years. And occasionally the divine message is revealed through an unforeseen meeting that changes the trajectory of your life. A startling turn of circumstances, a stranger's comments, or an unexpected spiritual encounter. These instances are not coincidental. They are the manifestation of the gift. Because they believe the gift is intended just for the bearer, many people misinterpret it. The heavenly gift, however, is never reserved for you alone. It's for other people. Someone is supposed to be guided by the insight you possess. Someone is supposed to be healed by the calm you exude. Someone is supposed to be inspired by the bravery you exhibit. God knows that you will overflow with the gift, which is why He puts it in you. The one that was selected is a vessel rather than a storage unit. The gift will either deteriorate from neglect or become so burdensome that you are unable to sleep until you release it if you attempt to keep it hidden. Here's another reality. This gift cannot be faked. Many will attempt to mimic the chosen person's demeanor, speech, or behavior. However, imitation lacks spiritual weight if it is not supported by God. The inherent genuineness of the heavenly gift strikes a chord with people who experience it. Although others may not understand why they listen to you, trust you, or feel at ease in your presence, their spirits are aware of these things. However, this authority also presents a stewardship challenge. When God bestows a gift, He expects it to be protected, cultivated, and used in accordance with His will. The gift may be hampered if it is abused, or if pride, greed, or fear control your behavior. For this reason, humility is crucial. You lose the very anointing that gives the gift its strength the instant you start to think it comes from you instead of God. Choose one. Realize this. Your ability to attract people is not arbitrary. It's a tool. It is intended to close doors that would undermine your purpose and open those that are in line with your calling. It is intended to guide you into heavenly appointments where you will either deliver what someone else sorely needs or receive what you need for the next stage. Sometimes that implies you will only have a brief encounter with someone, but that moment will reverberate forever. Another characteristic of the divine gift is that it develops with you. You have more authority the more you walk in compliance. Your spiritual vision gets sharper the more you pay attention to prophetic dreams. Divine messages will come more often the more you respond to them. It's a collaboration. You honor the gift that God has given you by using it for His glory. However, be advised that this gift will occasionally cause you to feel alone. Even your closest friends and family will misunderstand you. Your light won't be suitable for everyone. It will anger some people. It will frighten others. However, such seclusion is not a form of discipline. It serves as defense. In order to prevent your gift from being stolen, diluted, or prematurely revealed, God conceals you when necessary. Thus, keep this truth in your soul. The heavenly gift extends beyond your abilities. You are what you are. Your soul has the stamp of paradise. It is the reason you have survived hardships that would have devastated others. It explains why you have encounters, visions, and insights that others ignore. That explains why your life has never been typical. You will also start to walk differently as you come to terms with the nature of this gift. You'll be more careful with your soul. You'll pay closer attention to what God has to say. When you sow into light, your root chakra stabilizes and fear loses its grip. God gives seed to the sower. 2 Corinthians 9 verse 10. Plant your $50 seed into holy voices today, and you will see that every spiritual contact, prophetic dream, and angelic visitation is a part of the invisible spiritual interactions that are woven throughout your life. A tapestry created by the divine himself. Selected one. Heaven will occasionally approach you in life, but not necessarily in the manner you anticipate. These are the hallowed points where the natural and spiritual worlds converge, the invisible spiritual contacts. They are not random occurrences. They are intentional, purposeful, and frequently transformative. Some of these experiences are so subtle that you may completely miss them unless your spirit is alert. Others are so powerful that they leave you feeling completely shaken and convinced that God Himself has just spoken into your life. Angelic visits are among the most profound kind of spiritual encounter. It can occasionally appear in dreams in which a brilliant person conveys a spiritual message so clear that you wake up remembering every word. It appears in waking life at other times. A stranger who shows up just when you need them gives you words of encouragement that touch your heart and then disappears as if they never existed. Stories like these are probably not new to you, but when they happen to you, you feel a deep sense of knowing. This was no typical gathering. Another method that heaven communicates with the chosen is through prophetic dreams. Events may appear in your dreams before they actually occur. You might see locations, people, or symbols that you have never seen before in the real world, but then you're standing in the same place. These are not arbitrary dreams. They're communications. They can occasionally be signs of spiritual peril. In other cases, they serve as affirmations of your course. Occasionally, they also reveal upcoming assignments. Here's the secret, though. Intimacy with God is necessary for the understanding of prophetic dreams. In its absence, the message may be misunderstood. Sometimes the spiritual experience is challenging rather than consoling. The atmosphere of the chosen one attracts spiritual opposition in addition to angels. You can sense an invisible presence in the room or feel suddenly heavy when you enter a particular area. You might experience resistance for no apparent physical reason. The opponent is acknowledging that you are marked and hence a threat to his goals, which is spiritual warfare. The purpose of these interactions is not to terrify you. They are intended to serve as a reminder that you are headed in the right direction and that both areas are affected by your enticing power. A spiritual experience may sometimes take place over several days or weeks. Repeated numerals like 777 or 444 may begin to appear everywhere on clocks, receipts, and license plates. It could appear to be a coincidence at first, but then you become aware that you're being led step by step towards something important when you hear that inner nudge, that quiet voice telling you to pay attention. These indications are heaven's breadcrumbs guiding you to unplanned but urgently needed heavenly appointments. Sometimes, without the other person even recognizing it, the encounter occurs through their words. It's possible that you're having a casual chat when they say something that strikes you like lightning and answers a hidden prayer you've been whispering. Even though you might not tell them, you know that God just spoke through them at that precise moment. Because their spirits are tuned to a higher frequency, chosen ones frequently receive messages in this manner. It's also critical to understand that not all spiritual experiences call for quick action. Some are future-oriented seeds. Months or even years may pass before you receive a vision or word that makes sense. It is crucial to have patience. When the moment is right, the heavenly message will mature. There's more to this, though. You are also invited to serve as a conduit for another person's encounter as a chosen one. Someone's life may be divinely interrupted by your own presence. You may say something that offers people hope without intending to. If you pray for someone, you can unintentionally break the chains they have been wearing for years. You may just stroll into a space and calm a tense environment. Carrying the heavenly gift entails this obligation. You are the messenger as well as the recipient. These interactions are purposefully invisible. Thunder and lightning are not always used by God to proclaim His presence. He can occasionally move in whispers, shadows, soft prods, and tiny clues. For this reason, the selected one must exercise spiritual discernment. It is essential. Without judgment, you can miss the very opportunity to change your fate. This is something I want you to comprehend. All of your spiritual experiences, prophetic dreams, and angelic visits are woven into the fabric of your calling. They are not random. They have a plan. They serve as a reminder that you are not alone in your journey. Heaven is still watching, leading, and speaking, sometimes in ways that go beyond your comprehension and speak straight to your spirit, even during times when God seems to be silent. And you'll notice the trend when you reflect on your life. You'll never forget the moment you were shielded from an unexpected threat. You'll remember the dream that helped you prepare for an unexpected challenge. You'll come to understand that the stranger who came to your aid was not only a kind person, but also possibly an angel on a mission. These insights will fortify your walk and deepen your faith. So, pick one and keep your eyes peeled. Keep your spirit awake. Focus on the little things, the recurring clues, and the enduring impressions that remain in your spirit. When the heavenly message comes, receive it with reverence. When you feel shaken by the spiritual experience, take solace in prayer. Additionally, make a note of the prophetic dream when it awakens you in the middle of the night. You might be in possession of a future key. You were never meant to walk blindly through this life. The unseen spiritual interactions are heaven's method of keeping you aligned, encouraged, and equipped. They serve as a constant reminder that you are appreciated, recognized, and selected. And since your journey is far from complete, they will continue to come as long as you are breathing. The consequences of falling into the 0.1%. It's no little matter to be chosen to carry what you carry. This kind of enticing ability, this supernatural gift that cannot be learned, duplicated, or stolen, is possessed by only 0.1% of souls on this planet. There's a weight associated with it, even though the outside world may only perceive the favor and light that surround you. Few people will ever comprehend the load. Others may be envious of your vocation, but they fail to see the price. It may appear like blessings just come into your life from the outside. People consider themselves extremely fortunate when everything goes their way. The times you've struggled with God in prayer, however, are not visible to them. The foretelling dreams that startled you out of sleep, the spiritual experiences that compelled you to undertake decisions that others would never dare. The loneliness that frequently accompanies being put apart is invisible to them. Nobody else would understand the struggles you endure in silence, so they don't see them. You can't live like the 99.9% if you're in the 0.1%. A chosen one's route is more constrained, more rigorous, and more challenging. You attract blessings with your enticing power. Yes, but it also attracts opposition, miscommunication, and jealousy. Because your light reveals what others wish to conceal, there will be those who speak negatively about you, despise you without cause, and attempt to discredit you. This is spiritual, not personal. The comfort of darkness is disturbed by your presence, and darkness does not gently give up. Then there's the burden of accountability. God gives you the ability to attract people because He plans to use it. It's not for your glory that you have influence. It serves His objective. Every interaction, relationship, and chance that presents itself has the capacity to further the kingdom. This implies you have to make decisions all the time. Not all doors that are open are divine doors. There are opportunities that are meant to divert you off your course. If you lack discernment, the same gift that makes you better could also put you in danger. The loneliness of this calling is one of its most burdensome aspects. Fewer people will walk with you if your calling is higher. You might discover that relationships you previously believed were impenetrable start to fall apart, that childhood pals disappear, or that some family members are no longer able to relate to you. Conflict isn't usually the cause of this. It's because your circle is being pruned by God. He is aware that not everyone is able to bear the responsibility of your gift. Some would deliberately work against it, some would dilute it, and some would abuse it. So, despite the pain, He takes them off. The ongoing spiritual conflict is another difficulty. A target is always on the chosen person's back. The enemy gradually tries to demoralize, divert, and exhaust you because you carry messages from God that have the power to change lives, angelic visits, and prophetic visions. Such symptoms may manifest as unexpected fatigue, bewilderment, or sudden waves of uncertainty. In places where things should flow naturally, it can show up as odd resistance. You must therefore take great care of your spirit. You cannot choose not to pray. It serves as your shield. Misunderstanding your own gift can also carry a lot of weight. There may be times when you wonder if you're dreaming or if it's real. You may experience a spiritual experience so intense that you question whether it truly occurred. Alternatively, you may experience a prophetic dream that seems too much to handle. These incidents do not indicate that you lack qualifications. They are indications that your trust is being stretched by God. Because the divine gift was never intended to be borne by your own power, it frequently feels larger than you. The burden of visibility is another. Whether you want it or not, you stand out because of your attractive power. In crowds, people pay attention to you. Even when you talk informally, what you say matters. Knowing that people are observing can make this feel draining. Not only your successes, but also your failures. However, realize that God did not give you sight in order to exert pressure on you, to place you. He gave it to you. Your life is a testament, so you're destined to be seen. It's not all trials, though. The honor of being trusted with divine secrets comes with the weight of belonging to the 0.1%. When you wake up from a prophetic dream, you realize that heaven has just provided you with knowledge that could save someone's life. Having an angelic visitation that lets you know you're not alone is what it is. It's seeing a spiritual experience come to pass and understanding that God planned everything to fulfill a promise. They serve as a reminder of the value of the burden and are considered sacred riches. Your attractive power, chosen one, is more than merely drawing others to you. It's about bringing fate into harmony. Finding your mission can be made easier for others when you walk in obedience. However, the weight can become debilitating if you refuse to follow your calling. The core of God's will is the safest location for you. It's important to keep in mind that carrying this gift will necessitate periods of respite. To recuperate, even the most formidable fighters have to withdraw. This is not a sign of weakness. It's wisdom. You need to tend to your light, restore your mind, and rejuvenate your spirit. One of the enemy's preferred tactics against chosen ones is burnout, because he will attempt to wear you down until you give up if he is unable to destroy you. Thus, keep this fact close to your heart. Yes, there's a lot of weight associated with being in the 0.1%. Yes, you will lose comfort, friends, and occasionally even tranquility. However, it will also provide you with experiences, insights, and triumphs that most others will never have. It will give you access to heaven in ways that most people can only imagine. And you will hear the words that every selected person longs to hear when the time comes for you to stand before God. Excellent work, obedient and good servant. Your throat chakra aligns when you speak faith and release generosity. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Matthew 12 verse 34. Support Holy Voices with $100 and let your voice echo in heaven. Choose one after realizing your appealing power. When you realize how powerful you are at attracting others, it will be one of the biggest awakenings of your life. Ego is not at issue here. This has nothing to do with being overly proud of yourself. In order to walk in it with authority, you must acknowledge what God has placed inside of you. Too many chosen ones spend years of their lives wondering why they are treated differently without explanation, why certain people show up out of nowhere, or why certain patterns follow them. However, things start to come together once you realize how powerful you are at drawing others. Your ability to attract others is spiritual rather than surface level. It is not determined by your appearance, possessions, or volume of speech. It originates from the holy gift's light within you, a brightness that shines through your aura and affects people in ways they frequently can't describe. Have you ever noticed how, despite knowing you very little, people confide in you about their most personal struggles? Have there ever been times when you seem to attract individuals with an almost magnetic energy? This isn't a coincidence. Their spirit is being called by yours. The fact that people gravitate toward you when they are in need is among the most obvious indications of this influence. They can tell you have something special, like peace, strength, wisdom, or hope, even if you don't say it out loud. These are confirmations, such as, I feel like I can trust you, or I don't know why I'm telling you this. Because your spirit is rooted in something bigger than yourself, your presence feels secure. The fact that you routinely draw heavenly appointments is another indication. You find yourself at the ideal location at the ideal moment, getting to know people who are important to your trip or whose travels you're supposed to influence. These encounters frequently evoke a feeling of déjà vu or the silent realization that this event was planned long in advance. They can occasionally be preceded by spiritual experiences or prophetic dreams that help you prepare for them. Both light and evil spiritual activities are drawn to you by your attracting capacity. This explains why you might have more frequent angelic visits than other people, or why your dreams frequently have prophetic meaning. People who oppose truth will be drawn to the same light that draws people in need of healing. You might observe unexpected opposition, miscommunications, or even animosity from people you haven't offended. That's how the spiritual world is responding to you. Keep an eye out for the emotional and physical cues that go along with your attractive power. You could notice a change in the ambience as soon as you enter a location. You might see others observing you silently. When your spirit detects spiritual stress, you could experience abrupt waves of calm, or, on the other hand, sudden heaviness. These internal senses are working to make you aware of what's going on behind the scenes. The way possibilities present themselves to you will also help you identify your attracting ability. Doors appear to open for you in unexpected ways, while others may have to fight for years to get certain breaks. This isn't due to your good fortune. It's because the correct people are drawn to you by your aura and divine gift. However, exercise caution. Something is not necessarily designed for you just because it appeals to you. The key is discernment. Prayer must be used to test every open door. Sometimes effect, not notice, is how your enticing power manifests itself. You might unintentionally alter someone's life with just one sentence. You might offer guidance that frees someone from years of uncertainty. You might well lead a life that encourages others to seek God more thoroughly. Authenticity is the source of this impact. Because your statements have the authority of experience and heavenly support, people take them seriously. Additionally, you may observe that your attracting force frequently works without your conscious awareness. You don't need to make an effort to get attention. They simply do. You don't need to be demanding. It comes naturally. This is due to the fact that genuine spiritual authority is naturally acknowledged. It doesn't yell. It just is, and anybody who can see it will respect it. I want you to pause and think about your life, chosen one. Consider the individuals who have suddenly entered your life. Consider the times when a foretelling dream came true. Consider the moments when you were in awe of a spiritual experience. Consider the blessings that appear in your life without your having to seek them out. All of them demonstrate how your attracting ability is at work. I want you to leave a comment at 777 or 444 right now if this resonates with you. This demonstrates to you that what I'm saying is resonated with your soul. Allow it to serve as a public recognition of the gift you possess. Being aware is only one aspect of realizing your attracting power. It's about accountability. You have to protect it once you realize you have it. You have to be deliberate about who you spend time with, where you travel, and what you let into your life. Not everyone you attract has the best of intentions. You will be drained by some. Some may want to be near the light without ever entering it, while others will want to dominate you. You will no longer wonder why certain things happen to you once you are living in the awareness of your gift. You will no longer question your value and start acting with assurance, knowing that the same God who bestowed this attractive ability will also provide you with guidance on how to use it. The chosen one moves in this manner, unfazed by distractions, confident in their identity, and certain in their goal. So pay attention to the one you've chosen. Pay attention to the signs. Pay attention to the foretelling dreams. Remain receptive to spiritual experiences. They're not arbitrary. They are proof that you are unique in heaven. You will cease living like everyone else and begin living like the person you were meant to be the moment you fully understand and accept your attracting power. How to take care of and preserve this gift. Selected one. You possess a holy, uncommon, and potent divine gift. However, keep in mind that valuable things will always be targeted. The enemy doesn't waste time on people who don't have any spiritual impact. He seeks out people who have the ability to upend the atmosphere, whose foretelling dreams can caution and direct others, and whose magnetic force can draw souls into the light. This implies that this gift may be weakened, misdirected, or even momentarily silenced if you do not carefully guard and nourish it. For this reason, protecting your soul is essential. It is necessary. Prayer is the first line of defense for your gift. The spiritual shield that maintains your aura and discernment is prayer. It's how you stay in close contact with the person who originally gave you the gift. You open yourself to spiritual attacks, distraction, and misunderstanding when you don't pray. You cannot afford to treat prayer as a custom or a last-minute consideration because of this. Make it your lifeline. Talk to God every day to maintain your spirit in harmony and your vision clear, not just when you're in need. The second method is through God's Word. Those who are chosen frequently experience spiritual encounters, prophetic dreams, and heavenly messages that must be evaluated against the truth. Your anchor is the word. It enables you to determine if what you've seen or heard is from the enemy, your own thoughts, or God. Without such basis, you run the risk of being misled by fakes. Your resistance to deceit increases as you immerse yourself in God's truth. You have to protect your surroundings as well. All types of individuals will be drawn to you by your attractive power. God sent some, while the enemy sent others. Acquire the ability to test all spirits. You are not the object of everyone's admiration. You shouldn't let everyone who wants to be close to you into your heart. Maintain a small inner group that is full of people that respect your boundaries, believe in your calling, and bring life to your path. Toxic people will begin to cloud your spirit and diminish your talent if you let them get too near. Developing spiritual discipline is another approach to cultivate your skill. This covers periods of deliberate silence before God, fasting, and worship. It is easier to hear heavenly messages and decipher prophetic dreams while you fast because it humbles the flesh and sharpens your spiritual senses. Worship changes the environment around you, enhancing your aura and attracting angelic presence. The whisper of God can be heard in silence, free from the cacophony of the outside world. Because they maintain the gift blazing brightly, chosen ones flourish in these fields. Be mindful of your physical well-being as well. The gift functions through the vessel of your body. Additionally, your gift will be less effective if it is continuously depleted. When God calls you to rest, take it. Consume nutritious foods. Look after your emotions and mind. Neglecting self-care can wear down even the strongest selected person. Keep in mind that physical health and spiritual strength are related. Pride is one of the biggest threats to your gift. You will be more inclined to claim credit for your success the more power you are attracting. However, you lose the anointing that gives it its fire the instant you begin to think it comes from you. Never lose your humility. Praise God for every miracle, every interaction, and every life-changing event that occurs because of you. Your talent is multiplied and protected by humility. Distraction is another danger. The enemy will frequently divert you from the work God has called you to do by using relationships, busyness, or even minor blessings. Pay attention to anything that continuously diverts your attention, time, or energy. No matter how alluring something may seem, you must be prepared to let it go if it starts to undermine your prayer life or impair your discernment. You must also keep learning in order to cultivate your gift. Not only should you read the Bible, but you should also examine the ways that God has worked in your life. Record your spiritual experiences, angelic visits, and prophetic dreams in a diary. You will eventually start to see themes, cautions, and affirmations. In addition to bolstering your faith, these recordings can help you become more adept at spotting God's movements in real time. If at all possible, surround yourself with other people you have chosen. Iron sharpens iron. You will remain accountable and inspired if you are surrounded by people who recognize the importance of the calling. When you align yourself with those who share your light, you'll discover that your attracting power rises. You can pray for each other's protection together, exchange insights from your experiences, and validate each other's divine messages. Lastly, realize that patience is necessary to nurture your gift. Your spiritual force grows in seasons. Much like a seed needs time to become a tree. There will be action-packed and door-opening seasons. When God is quietly working on you, others will be more subdued. Don't hate the slow seasons. These are frequently the periods when your roots get more deeply ingrained, setting you up for future success. Your divine gift, chosen one, is priceless rather than brittle. It will not only survive but also flourish if you protect it. You will notice a change in your spirit if you ignore it. Living intentionally is essential to safeguarding and fostering your gift. It entails keeping an eye on what enters your heart, head, and surroundings. It entails putting faith above fear, discipline above comfort, and obedience above convenience. And this is the reality you need to cling to. God will have more faith in you if you safeguard your talent. The crown chakra connects you to divine wisdom when you give with joy. The Lord loves a cheerful giver. 2 Corinthians 9 verse 7. Sell $110 in a holy voices today and align with higher guidance. Your attracting ability will draw in what is meant for you and reject what is not the more you cultivate it. Nothing in this world or the spiritual world, can stop you from achieving your chosen mission when you are walking in that kind of alignment. The chosen one's prophetic duty. Selected one. In addition to possessing the divine talent, you are called to serve as a prophetic voice in a society that has lost the ability to hear from God. Titles, platforms, and notoriety are not important in the prophetic function. It has to do with obeying. It has to do with serving as a conduit for the delivery of divine messages. You were selected not just to receive from heaven, but also to offer what you have been given back to the planet, whether that was done through words, deeds, dreams, or even your very presence. The prophetic role is often misinterpreted. They believe it implies that you must always be making prophecies, uttering enigmas, or issuing judgments. True prophetic labor, however, goes far deeper. It has to do with alignment. The heartbeat of heaven is carried into earthly circumstances by a prophet. You are called to remind individuals of their purpose in life, to speak truth when lies rule, and to bring God's viewpoint into times of confusion. This explains why heavenly visits, prophetic dreams, and intense spiritual experiences are so common among selected ones. These aren't just arbitrary spiritual encounters for your amusement. They're divine briefings. You may get a direct life lesson or a message intended for another person during an angelic encounter. A prophetic dream may indicate an impending threat or a window of opportunity that you need to seize right now. You may have the confidence to say something unexpected during a spiritual meeting that strikes the right chord with God. You are frequently positioned strategically because of your prophetic function. Because He needs your light there, God will position you in a family, a community, a business, or even a specific moment in time. The method includes using your attractive power. It attracts people to you so that you may give them the word or presence they sorely need when the time is right. You won't even need to talk much at times. Just your aura, filled with God's presence, will change the mood. However, this position carries responsibility. Before being recognized, prophets are frequently rejected. Others may laugh or reject a vision or word you express, only to witness its realization later. In circumstances where speaking the truth will make you unpopular, you could be called to do so. You might receive insight that you are unable to express right away, so you must keep it in prayer until God gives you permission to do so. For this reason, prophetic service necessitates both patience and bravery. You must also live differently if you are called to prophetic ministry. The spiritual nudges you receive are too strong to ignore. You can't ignore the dreams that keep you up at night. The spiritual messages that arise in your spirit during the day cannot be ignored. These aren't disruptions. They're tasks. Additionally, God will give you more responsibility the more you obey. Watchmen are also called upon to fulfill the prophetic duty. You are perceptive of changes in the spiritual environment. You have the ability to detect when danger is approaching or when good things are about to happen. You see patterns that others miss, such as recurring symbols in dreams, important dates, or repeated numerals. These aren't random occurrences. Heaven speaks to you in a language that includes them. Your prophetic role may involve clearing the path for others rather than expressing a word at the precise moment. You can find yourself praying for people you don't even know, asking God to help them without ever telling them. He might reveal a future season to you, not so you can brag about it, but so you'll be prepared to guide people through it when it arrives. Spiritual resistance is another aspect of this duty. Because it reveals his schemes before they are completely developed, the enemy despises the prophetic. You interrupt the enemy's plans when you are living out your prophetic calling. This explains why you could experience weird and unexpected discouragement, why your words may encounter resistance, or why your dreams may be assailed with confusion or forgetfulness. These indicate that you are making progress. You have to be in continual communication with God if you want to fulfill the prophetic role. If you are not connected to the divine source, you cannot convey divine messages. This entails keeping your ears tuned to the frequency of heaven, your motives pure, and your spirit pure. It entails speaking only when instructed to do so by God, and keeping quiet when instructed to wait. You are more than just a light bearer, chosen one. You are a messenger. Your life serves as a link between the visible and invisible worlds. Take seriously any words, dreams, visions, or spiritual encounters that God offers you. Put it in writing. Say a prayer over it. Request clarification. And don't be afraid of what people think when it's time to distribute it. Keep in mind that being a prophet does not entail being exalted. It is about the revelation of God. You've missed the mark if people remember you, but don't recall the message. However, you will have served your mission if people forget you and remember the God who spoke through you. Final blessing and charge from God. Your spirit is aware that this message is for you, chosen one, if you have listened thus far. From the start, you have sensed the draw. This wasn't a random occurrence. This was no accident. Long before you ever hit play, heaven put this time in your life's calendar. You now find yourself at a heavenly fork in the path. There is a path that leads to diversion, comfort, and compromise, and another that leads to your true identity, your highest calling, and your everlasting reward. The truth about your ability to attract people has been told to you. The spiritual meetings, prophetic dreams, and heavenly visits that have accompanied you for years have come back to you. In your heart, you know that you belong to the 0.1% who possess a gift that the world cannot explain, since you have recognized yourself in the words stated here. What will you do with what you've been given, though, is the question now. The days of self-doubt are past. It's time to stop hiding your brightness. For a moment like this, you have been prepared, shielded, and maintained. People you haven't met yet are depending on your compliance. You have yet to take on some assignments that have the power to transform lives. You have yet to say those words that will break bonds. In order to prepare you for this moment, God has been calling you, molding you, and occasionally even isolating you. Don't allow fear to stop you. Don't allow distractions to deprive you. Keep your convictions strong and unaffected by the opinions of others. You were not picked to fit in. You were picked because of your ability to stand out, your firmness, and your commitment to the truth, even when it is unpopular. Keep in mind that although the heavenly gift carries a heavy burden, the grace to bear it is even greater. I now bestow this favor upon you. With each day that goes by, may your aura become more powerful, radiant, and unwavering. May you have the ability to attract only the things that heaven has planned for you, and to ward off any traps and diversions that could try to pull you off course. May you have vivid, lucid, and enlightening prophetic dreams. When you need courage, direction, or comfort, may angelic visitation be your part, and may you boldly, accurately, and lovingly share every divine message you receive. You are entering a new season, chosen one. This is the time of year when you fully recognize your talent, accept the responsibility that comes with your calling, and put your complete trust in God. You will never again consider yourself normal after today. You are not an ordinary person. You are the representative of heaven on earth. If this message has struck a chord with you, please sign off. As a prophetic statement that you are awake, in alignment, and prepare to walk in your mission, leave a comment below with the number 777, and let me know what most resonated with you. Another chosen person might need your words as assurance today. I want you to keep in touch before you leave. Join this channel by subscribing. If you know someone who is carrying the same fire, share this message with them by tapping the bell button. The selected individuals must locate one another, support one another, and unite. Even though we are few, when we band together, we are strong. Bring this heavenly charge with you now. Walk with your spirit in harmony with God's voice, your head held high, and your heart pure. Don't back down. Don't say you're sorry for your light. Don't question the interactions you've had. They were authentic. They were divine. Additionally, they serve to prepare you. Continue to be a testimony of God's power, a bearer of truth, and a giver of hope. Now is your moment. This is your affirmation. Now is the time for you to totally embrace your true self. And may you always be accompanied by God's presence, peace, and safety. You have been selected. You've been marked. You are cherished. Nothing in heaven, earth, or hell can take that away from you. Beloved soul, if this message has spoken to your heart, don't let it end here. Click that like button so the light can spread to more people who need hope. Subscribe to Holy Voices so you never miss the next word heaven has for you. And leave a comment below. I read every one, and I pray over them. Remember, faith grows when we share it. So share this message with someone who needs to hear it today. Until we meet again, may God's peace cover you and His voice guide your every step.